Alrighty. Hey, been a while, but doing another review here. And I thought I'd start with the basic premise of my problem. I have a problem. Long story, real damn short. I bought a bank-owned foreclosure. I bought it to fix up and rent out. I've been fixing up, renting out ever since. This place is under constant construction, destruction, and I need to move air. I've tried numerous different fans, and I just need a simple fan to do a simple job. Problem is, the cheaper ones are, well, they're small, inefficient. They either make too much noise or they're not balanced, and then they vibrate, shaking, making all kinds of rattling noises. Here's one of them. Let me show you what the other one looks like real quick. Here's another one. I'd like the amount of air that these particular fans move, but they do make a bit of a racket in multiple ways. One, they shake, vibrate. That's why I got a little buffer there to keep it from, well, just rattling and carrying on. Two, the amount of wind noise that they make, that's another problem. But it's this dynamic resonance that builds up in these particular fans. It drives me to drink. Okay, it's just bad. It's just howling. They start to howl after a while, and I cannot stand it. I'm just done with it. So these fans are going to fly, and I'm going to put in something better. Let me show you the other side real quick so you get a better idea of the basic the way I need to make this house breathe. All right, here is the mess that is my world. My workshop, my storage, my everything. Point is, I got to move air through this room to allow my house to breathe. I do have a central heating system. Problem is, it is not yet centrally located. It will be going over here eventually, but I have not built this room yet. So in the meantime, I use fans to move air, as one does, you know. All right, so you see what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do anyway. So I need two fans to take care of both windows, and this is what I got to hopefully permanently, once and for frickin' all, move the air that I want to move without making a lot of noise. Now, these are expensive, and I'm just going to point blank tell you right now, there ain't $100 worth of nothing sitting here. It's not worth $100 frickin' dollars. But whatever, that's what I spent per unit, per fan, and I had to, naturally buy two of them. Anyway, as per. Yeah, it's like that. Anyway, you get a box, and you get a bunch of stuff inside of a box. You get the manual here, which should be, it should be pretty self-explanatory how these things work, what they are. This is pre-attached, spongy. It's not high density, it's low density. Spongy, kind of a foam. Yeah, not a gasket, a sealer, yeah, something like that. Anyway, there's foam there. There's foam here on the bottom. And then you get the foam pieces, which I dropped. Yeah, and then you get these foam pieces, which are meant to, well, fill in the gaps width-wise. But from what I've seen from other, well, pictures, reviews, whatnot, Amazon complaints, if you will, they don't fit very well. But that's okay for me because I'm not doing this conventionally. They're going into a window opening, but they're not going into a window. So I'm going to custom fit my current situation to fit these fans. It doesn't cost me nothing to do that, and then they're just going to guarantee fit. Anyway, that's the thing. Let me plug one in. Well, let me plug this one in quick, and we'll power it on. All right, just plugged it in. Hand to God, this is the very first time I'm powering it up. I just wanted to mention real quick, because I didn't show it earlier. Yes, there is the little remote control. It uses one of those tiny little button cell batteries, lithium batteries, supposedly what's in this. There's a little plastic pull tab you had to pull out of this to engage the contacts and whatnot. Anyway, that's what the remote looks like. I guess, just push that. And yeah, that lit up. There's a lot of light in here, so you probably can't see nothing. That's okay, I can't see it either, I'm guessing. Temperature. Hey, I ain't joking. This is the very first time I powered it up. I don't know how it freaking works. It's not doing anything. Temperature down. Oh, I guess I didn't turn it on. There we go. Oh, that new plastic smell just... Yeah, you're going to smell that. That's that brand new Chinese plastic smell. Oh, it's quiet. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's going to work. That is going to work. That's moving good air. Let me get out of the way here. That's probably blowing right into the microphone. Yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate this with a piece of paper later once I get it installed. I just wanted to get a feel for it, literally feel it, before I install it, to know that people are complaining that it doesn't move a lot of air. Well, that's a good amount of air, folks. That's, yeah, by my just the feel of it, that's moving a good amount of air. They're rated for, as best I could find anywhere online, they're rated to do about 185 CFM, which ain't a lot. But two of them, that's going to be touching, kissing the 400, CFM mark. I got 1,000 square foot home, so every 2 minutes or so, I'm exchanging the entire, or I'm moving the entire, area of air that I have, volume of air in my house. I'm moving it, once every 2 minutes, give or take. So that's going to work out for me. That's on high, and on low. That still feels good. I'll tell you what, that's still moving decent air, and that is virtually silent. All right, that's cool. I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to go install this the way I'm going to install it, and then we'll tune back in. I'll take oh, what the hell is the name of the thing? I can measure the sound. A dosimeter? Yeah, something, a noise meter. Anyway, we'll give you some numbers then once it's installed. All right, I got this guy installed, and took me a good couple of minutes to figure out how I was going to do it. But that's how I did it. That's what I'm doing. And for my intended purpose, my needs, this is going to do its job. Now, I did this yesterday and, used it all. I got about 24 hours on it, give or take, right there in that ballparkish. And I'll tell you what, right now, I'm freaking loving this thing. I'm kind of mad at myself for putting it off so long. I hate the price. Don't get me wrong. I despise what this thing costs. It ain't worth those nickels, dimes, dollars, and cents. But, man, talk about doing a job. This is the tool to do this job. It is by far the best version of this thing I have ever seen, let alone used. And I have multiple versions of this, which I'll show you a little bit later. But anyway, this is just a basic idea. This is what I'm doing with mine. I got to put the other one in yet, but I wanted to, put some miles on one of them to make sure that I was going to be happy with it. And I'm freaking thrilled with everything aside from the cost. But all right, I got the other one on the bench. Let's change positions, huh? We're going to run some numbers. We're going to get some numbers, and then I'm going to install the other one, and we'll wrap this up. All right, the first number I want to get, how much power does it draw on various speeds? I'm going to use my Honda Donda kilowatt meter here, which I think, well, clearly, and there's something going on with it. It doesn't go to zero. Doesn't matter if there's something plugged in or nothing plugged in. It doesn't go, it's always showing, 0.13 amps or whatever. I don't know why it does that. It shows 0 watts when something's plugged in, but yeah, I don't know. It's got me thinking. So, don't believe 110% of what you're about to see here, but it should be accurate enough. I did check it with an actual clamp meter, and once there is a real load on, beyond 10 or 15 watts, the numbers match. So it's matching what my clamp meter shows. So I don't know. I still question it. Anyway, long story short, we're going to check the power draw on this thing. And if you was wondering, because I was, this is the remote from the first one I unboxed and installed and whatnot. It's one remote, works on all of them. So it's not like there's specific channels for each individual one. It's just one channel and they all work. So let's power this one up. And we'll put it on speed 1. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, speed 1. And it's drawing, crap, a lot of glare. 25 watts. I'll go to speed 2. Hello. There we go. And 28 watts. Yeah, why don't I get out of the wind? 27 watts, something like that. Speed 3. 30 watts. And 4. At 32 watts. Not a lot. Okay. Off. All right, that was, yeah, that's the electrical. Now let's see how much noise it actually makes. I'm gonna do my best to isolate this acoustically, so that the only thing we're gonna hear is literally just what this thing is putting out sound-wise. So let me set up a little different here, and we'll do that. All right, here's the basic idea. I got a calibrated sound analysis microphone that is pointing directly at the apparatus. They say somewhere, I think in the manual, you're not supposed to not supposed to use it vertically. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the bearings that they're using, or if there's just no secure way of mounting it vertically, but whatever. I didn't notice any difference in speed when I turned it on its side, so I'm using some very thick acoustic foam there to isolate it from that table. That's what I was talking about when I said I was going to try to isolate it. I have it at 1 meter, or 3 feet for us here in the United States of, and yeah, it's about 3 foot away. Industry standard. And then we're going to use Room EQ Wizard, which works with the calibration file for this microphone, so everything is what it is. And I'll just shut up here for a minute so you can get an idea. There's well, here, I'll just show it to you. There's a fan in this guy right here. I can't shut it up. I need the light. So I will shut up, and you'll get an idea of how noisy it just is in this room right now, and then we'll run that thing through its paces. About 45 dB. All right, I'm going to turn this on low, and we'll go through it one at a time. Level 2. Level 3. And level 4. So yeah, it's about 53 dBs on high at 1 meter. So yeah, very quiet. I don't remember I don't even remember if they said in any specifications anywhere how loud it was supposed to be, but that's how loud it is, at least in my environment. So those are the numbers. All right, there is just one more number I'd like to show and tell here. If, I mean, it's going to be a little shade tree mechanistry, a little crude, but I think it's the best visual representation that I can show and tell here. So I'm going to use a paper towel and a tape measure, and we're going to go for distance. All right, here's my paper towels. They are Bounty name brand, good semi-thick ones actually. So let's use this anyway to give you a good representation of how much air this thing is actually moving. All right, get you close enough that you can see this, hopefully. Hola. It's on level 1, and it is moving some air, right? I am that far away, whatever, 9 feet, give or take. Just to show you, on level 1, it's still moving. We're gonna keep going, going, and going. I gotta get out of the way to show you where I'm standing here. I am 19 feet away, right there. Okay. Now, what I've noticed, interestingly, is it doesn't throw the air here. It throws the air down here. So as I move down, hopefully you're getting that. That's not me wiggling. That's the air moving. It's throwing the air down. It's not throwing it straight, which makes perfect sense because of the way a squirrel cage actually works. It's not a fan blade pushing air. It's a squirrel cage that is grabbing air, kind of like lacrosse. If you can picture the way that tool works in that game, well, it's just a whole bunch of lacrosse scoopers spinning in a circle. So it's always throwing the air downward, which is why I get more airflow at this distance towards the floor than I do looking straight on at it. Now, if I can stop tripping over my microphone cord here, I'm going to turn it up with my remote control. That was power level 1. That's on high. Might as well just start at the bottom because we already know how it works now, right? I mean, this is where the air wants to move, down here. Basically at knee height is where I'm feeling the most air, seeing the most amount of movement. Hopefully that's all coming out. I mean, it's moving air, folks. Some folks were talking about, at least in the some of the reviews that I'd seen on Amazon and whatnot, they were saying about, it doesn't move much air, it doesn't move enough air. They wish they had more speeds and whatnot available. Well, okay, I get that. It's because, more than likely, it is because they're trying to pull air in one window with no exhaust whatsoever, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But this was the final number that I wanted to show and tell. The distance. It goes the distance. This thing will move some air. Works great. Let me show you the last one that I finally got installed, and then we're going to wrap this one up. And this is pretty much where I ended. I used a whole bunch of different things. Stuff I used the included, those little foam things, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Not thrilled with them, but, of all the available options, it's a workable option. I just don't like it. But that is how I ended on this one here. This is my second one in second window, naturally towards the back of my house. This one is pulling air, sucking air in, and then it blows it out through the other room. So, you saw how much air the thing's moving. It's moving air, right? But I don't have a stalemate, which I guess I better just start talking about that. Like I was saying or alluding to earlier, I was reading some comments about people saying these things don't move all that much air. Well, it's more than likely, my best guesstimation here, it is more than likely because they put one of these things in one window and leave the rest of the house locked up airtight. Modern homes are much further sealed, better sealed, more airtight than my home, for example, which is built in the 1940s. If you got something that's built 1980 and newer, you probably got plastic wrap on the entire house before doors and windows and all that stuff was installed. So you're going to be a whole lot more airtight than I am. But it doesn't matter if you got an old home, a new home, or anything in between. If you bring air in and do not let it out, you're going to create what's called a pressure differential. You're going to have a high pressure zone inside of your house and a low pressure zone outside, because you can only push so much air in. If you can't get it out, air's not going to move. It's going to feel like a stalemate, like it just like the fan's running, but it doesn't feel like it's moving any air. And the reason that would happen is because you created a high pressure zone inside your house. Now, if you have an attic, that's an excellent way to release. You don't necessarily have to open a back door or another window. Just, crack your attic open. You've got eaves and vents and whatnot all throughout your attic. You can bring in through a bedroom window, for example, and then just exhaust through your attic. That's an excellent way of pulling in, pushing out. It won't. It will cause a state change, a temperature change within at least one room, but you won't cause that stalemate where you build a high pressure zone where the air just simply cannot move anymore. Otherwise, you just got to open another window or a door or whatever. But you got to bring air in and push air out. If you don't, you create a stalemate. You create this high pressure zone. And, well, I imagine, anyway, that's why people are complaining that it doesn't seem like it moves enough air. Because I just showed you, folks, this thing will move some air. But I'm exhausting here, and I'm sucking it in over here. So all I'm doing in my house is I'm moving the air inside of my house, but I'm moving it in a 360-degree circle. So this is my intake, and then, down over yonder, that's my exhaust. So I'm just moving it in one great big circle. All right, so that was what I was thinking when I was reading some of these reviews. People are saying it doesn't move that much air. By the numbers, okay, it doesn't move but 185 CFM. No, that's not a lot of air, but it's a good amount of air, folks. I'm telling you. I'm only on half power, power level 2, and it's moving as much air as I want to move in my entire house, my whole house. Okay? I am very happy with the amount of air that it's moving. And you saw what it's doing. So, all right, enough of that. All right, well, real quick here, I just want to do a brief little show and tell. I said I have experience. I've got air movers, and I wasn't joking. I have this guy right here. That is I think it's 22 inches total frame width, but an 18-inch fan blade in that. That's my largest fan, and I do have 2 of those. Moves a lot of air, but makes a lot of noise while it's doing it. Even on low, it doesn't matter. That's a noisy apparatus. Got another fan here. I just got these recently. Little 9-inch blades, 12 inches wide, I think it is. 14, if I remember. Yeah, I think it's 14. 14 total width, 12-inch fan blade. Got another one of them right there. Another little 9-incher. Okay, these things work. They all move a good amount of air. It's just they scream while they do it. They either end up howling with some sort of weird-ass resonance or just bad things happen. I got these. I got 2 of these. Why don't you use just a window fan? Well, I did use a window fan. I've been using window fans. It's just the problem is, again, little baby fan makes a lot of noise to move a good amount of air. And this does move a good amount of air. Problem is, it lasted about 2.5 years. They are both the same thing. Homes. Hopefully that doesn't make you too sick. Homes are both the same exact fan. They were $29.99. Now they're $59.99. I don't know how the hell that happened, but, it did. But it doesn't matter. 2.5 years, they both lasted. I think it was a left fan in each of these died in 2.5 years. It just doesn't work. One fan does work in each of them, but one fan died in each of them about a week apart. Yes, I got all the stuff. I got the cool tools. I've used them all. It's just they either make too much noise or they don't move enough air or they just die in a heartbeat. That's why I went down the more expensive route. All right, so that's basically the show and tell of it all. I just want to wrap up here with some, cheat sheet. Spend some time with these 2 fans in their respective locations, and I have, things I like, things I don't, and some other thoughts. What I'm going to do is literally start at the bottom. I'm going to work my way from other thoughts to what I love about them. All right, I guess the first thing we'll talk about here is the controls. I love that it has one, little remote one. And the control panel here. It is It's interesting. You can touchy. Yeah, you just got to hit the right spot. What I've found, and I think it was done quite intentionally. Wait for it. Hopefully you can see that button is dimly illuminated. Tap it once, and that's how you wake it up, or at least that's how I found the best way to wake it up. Just hit the little power icon, or the handy-dandy included remote control. What I like about these, ain't no spyware in none of that. The Alexa version, which I'll talk about next, yeah, who knows, right? Anyway, just another thought or something I was thinking about. The control panel, a little bit finicky, but just tap the power button, wakes it right up, and there you go. It has, there is a version of this that has Alexa capabilities. I mean, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. I don't want nothing to do with any of that endless spying and all that jazz with artificial and none of that. I don't want nothing to do with none of it. But if you do, I mean, there is an option available that gives you that, gives you that option. It's Wi-Fi capable and all that crap. It's meaningless, worthless to me, but hey, if that's your cup of tea, then hey, there is one available. It costs more, but it's available. Other thing to mention, it comes in 2 colors. Any color you want, but as long as it's black and white, you can have it. Naturally, I went with white, but and 2 because the white ones were on sale, and they were still $105 each. But whatever, they were on sale, and I bought them. The other option is black, and while that may work better for you aesthetically in your environment and whatever, just think about if you're going to put it into a window that gets reasonably decent amount of sun. Black is not your best option, especially if you're trying to cool things down. Don't put black things in the sun. It's only going to get hot. So that's something to just keep in mind. If you're going to use this in the back side or north facing side of your house, probably doesn't matter much what color you put in there. But anything that's facing the sun, it's going to get hot. So something to keep in mind. Other things to mention, as you can see, that's not, I don't know if you can see. Let me just tell you what that is. That is insulation board. I don't care for the little spongy, expansion things that they give you. I don't like the window bellows that, pretty much everything comes with either. I mean, they're all crap. It's literally all crap. The only way to make something that's truly universally fit is going to cost a lot of money. And no manufacturer is going to want to hit that price point because no consumer is going to want to pay it. So they got to just kind of do what they just got to kind of do. Understand it, know this going in. Every window air conditioner, all these fans, they're all using either the window bellows or this sponge crap that this thing comes with. I mean, I'm not saying it's good or it's bad. It's just, it's not good. Okay? This is what I use here. Let me show you. All right, that is just insulation board. Aluminum foil faced, white on one side, silver on the other. I don't know, about 1/2 inch thick, dense foam insulation board. That's all it is. You can get this in a 4x8 sheet. One sheet will last you, a good long time. If you want to make this, I mean, it's already weatherproof because it's literally aluminum foil on both sides. It's just glued down. If you want to make it, really durable, get some of that aluminum tape and then tape around the outer edges to lock in both sides, because this will eventually start to lift up. Hopefully that's coming out on camera. See, I mean, it's just glued on. It will eventually start to lift off of this foam board. To lock that down and keep it, sealed in forever, just seal it with some aluminum tape. Call it a day right there. But then you custom fit this as your window bellows or your, whatever you need to seal in the apparatus. It doesn't matter if it's a window air conditioner or if it's, a fan like this. It's all done the same way. For me, at least that's how I do it. And of course you got your color options. You want silver side in or out, white side in or out. That's what I would suggest. That's what I recommend. That's how I do it. I realize this is an interior install, but it doesn't matter. I do the same thing. Well, here, I'll just show it to you. All right, like I was saying, I do the exact same thing for air conditioners as well. I mean, this review is coming. If you want to if you want a real serious window air conditioner, yeah, get subscribed with the bells, the whistles, and all that crap. I'm doing the review on this. It saved money. I can prove that in my electric bill and, you know, all that and all that. But it's coming. Point is, insulation board. There ain't nothing but windows on the back side of this. I got the white side facing out, so it just kind of looks like curtains. I want this room sealed up and thermally sealed. I don't need no light in here. I got other lights for that. So anyway, this is how I do it. This is how I recommend you do it. Another thing I was curious about, and I'm going to shut this off. Okay, it's off. I don't know if you could see it, but the little door thing just swung open. What I was curious about, if you put this in your window, you know, as per usual, and then shut it off, does that door block off outside airflow at all, or does the thing still breathe? Now, keep in mind, I got two of these running. Well, this one I just shut off. There is, I don't know if this paper's going to show it. There is still airflow. I probably can't hold still enough. Just take my word for it. I can feel it on the back of my hand. There is still airflow in here. So these things do not seal inside from outside. There's always going to be, they breathe, in other words. They always breathe. And I was wondering about that, and, well, now I know, so now you know. All right. So that was my other thoughts. Now let's move on to things I don't like. Honestly, I got two things, and that's it. Two things that I can legitimately point a finger and say, I hate this. I don't like the, I despise the fact that it costs $105. $105, and that was on sale. I'm point blank telling you guys, there ain't $100 worth of nothing sitting there. Not $100. It belongs at $49. Okay, that's where it belongs. It doesn't belong at $109 or $105, $115 I've seen them going for. No, just no. It does not belong there. It's too damn expensive. It's just not worth it. Is it the best tool I've ever used to do this job? Hell yeah, it is. Am I sorry that I bought it? No, I'm not. Not even the slightest. But I despise what I had to pay for it. I despise it. Okay, it just ain't worth it. The other thing, well, you're bringing outside air in. Now, if you're filtering your air inside like most of us are anymore, or at least I imagine most of us are, then, well, you're bringing dirty air in. You're going to bring pollen or dust from tractors and farmers and just road debris, whatever else blows through the wind, you know? It should have some sort of a filter on it, and it doesn't. Let me show you what you can use to kind of makeshift shade tree mechanistry, you know, make your own here. All right, here's the basic idea anyway. I just thought I'd show you with one that I've already made. Well, I can show you multiple versions of it. This one here, this is an entire season. This is my filter. That's the factory filter, the, you know, little fine mesh plastic. And this is MERV 13 filtration material. Very, very thin stuff too. But still, even at this thickness or thinness, it is extremely capable. MERV 13 is good enough to actually stop viruses. Not all viruses, but some of your lesser, some of your larger, you know, particulate size viruses. This will trap them. Believe it or not, this paper thin material can stop viruses. Not all, but some of them. And, you know, here's just a regular box fan. Transitioned into a half-ass fan slash filtration device, an air purifier, if you will. You know, it's a metal fan, so I just use magnets to hold the material in place. I will put a link to this material. You got to cut it to fit, you know, and then figure out your own means of attachment. Oftentimes, I just use painter's tape. That's what I was using on this. Yeah, I got a little painter's tape up in here, which, you know, I mean, this is end of season. It did leave go after I stopped using the machine, but most of the summer that thing's running, so that just a little bit of painter's tape holds that in place. And then when it's air is, you know, moving through it, it vacuum holds it in place the rest of the time. So nothing to her. But yeah, MERV 13 filtration material. That's what I use. That's what I recommend. And I mean, you can clearly see this is only one season, just one season, just this past summer. And that's how dirty it got. So that's actually not bad. I have a whole house filter in my HVAC system, so that takes care of a lot of it. This just takes care of the rest of it. So, all right, that's what I would recommend. That's what I'm doing, and well, that's how I'm doing it. All right, let's well, let me turn this down a little bit. Boop, and make it a little bit quieter. Let's end with, well, where I want to end here on things I like. What do I like about it? Well, damn near everything. These things are awesome. You guys, you gals, ladies and gentlemen, this is the tool to do this job. For sure, for sure. I love the airflow. I love how quiet this thing moves air while flowing so much air. This thing works great. So much better than I had actually anticipated. I read the reviews. I was skeptical. I was fearful, I should say. Then I got my own and, well, put it to task. I'm thrilled with it. Now, because it's a squirrel cage, it's got this cup that keeps moving in a circle. It's not a fan blade that's just going chop, 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 chop through the air. It's a cup that's scooping the air like a paddle wheel on an old steamship. It's a different tool for the same job, really. But because it's a squirrel cage, because it's a very small squirrel cage, it can still move a crap ton of air while not making a crap ton of noise, just by design. Now, the downside to squirrel cages is they're typically not high-speed devices because, well, the more you get something like this spinning, the more it's going to want to expand with centrifugal force, which, in a case like that, a propeller blade or a traditional fan blade would be a little more advantageous, a whole lot safer. It won't grow as much as one of these will. But for low speed, moving lots of air at low speeds, low noise, yes, this is how you do it. All right, so yeah, I love that. I love the fact that it is reversible. That's absolutely a godsend for me. That's what those window fans always did for me until, well, one fan died in each unit. Then it was, yeah, kind of a moot point at that point. But love the fact that it's reversible. That's exactly how I'm using it. I'm pulling in air, I'm sucking air in on this one, I'm pushing it out on the other one. That's making my house breathe 360. That's what I need, that's what it does. And I love how low power draw these things are. What was it, 32 watts on high? Yeah, that's nothing. You're never going to see it in your electric bill. Let it run 24/7. You ain't never going to see that. The shape and the size of the thing. I love this. I love it so much. It fits a window without consuming the window. You still got your window. I mean, in your use case is going to be different than this, I'm sure. But, you put it in a real window where you're going to look in and out. There you go. You're only blocking all of the bottom, 6 inches, 7 inches of it. The rest of it, you still got full access to your window. And I love that. The other thing I like, shut it off, turn it back on. It remembers your last setting. It just kind of picks up right where you left it. I don't recall. I did not try it. Let me go try that quick. If you just pull the plug, like, for example, if you lose power, what happens then? I don't know. Let's go test that. All right. I just turned this guy on. Hit it somewhere. Come on, wake up. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. It's finicky. It's not a like, it's not a dislike, but all right, I'm just going to rip the plug out just to simulate, hey, we lost power. Moving air that away, so I will pull that one, which was the wrong one. That was my light. This is the fan. All right, it's dead. Does nothing. Let's plug it in and see what it does. Yeah, why don't I show you? Okay, the flapper door is moving. Huh. Flapper door moved forwards, backwards, and then looks like it went to center. No, I had it set on power level 1. It's on now on speed 2, power level 2. So no, if you lose power, it will not remember. The last thing I can think of, the only thing I can think to mention that I really like about them, 5-year warranty. Like I said, those other ones that I showed you, the actual, window fans, yeah, 2.5 years they were dead. They only had, oh, a 12-month, a 1-year warranty on them. So, well, goodly past the, anything that can be done with them date. So now if I can't fix them, then they're just trash. But if you like seeing repair videos and that sort of thing, I'll put a link to up in there in my repair channel where that's the kind of stuff that I do. This channel is all about reviews. That channel is more diagnostics and repairs. Anyway, yes, 5-year warranty on these. So these will be used. These will be used almost all year round. At least one of them will be for sure. See how long they last. I mean, if they die within the warranty period, I will naturally update, down there in the description and whatnot. I will let you know. Trials, tribulations, and all that jazz. But guys, gals, ladies, and gents, this is a hell of a thing. I am so glad I got it. I'm disappointed in myself for putting it off so long. This was a needed thing. I needed this 2 years ago. And then I just put it off. I didn't like the price then. I hate the price now. But it is still, by far, bar none, no question or contest, this is the best tool for doing this job that I have ever seen or used. I love them. I really do. All right, so there ain't nothing to do except wrap this up, give it my final score. If you've seen any of my videos, you know me by now. We don't do stars. Stars are for restaurants. Around here, we use proper numerical scales from a 0 to 10. Where would I rate this thing? Man, I like it so much. I like it so much. I wanna give it a 9, but I won't. I think that's just my my giddy factor. I think that's too high. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. It's an 8.5. I really want to give it a 9, but like I said, it's just the simplicity, how well it works, and it shouldn't impress me that much, but it does. 8.5 is where I'm going to give it. All right, so that's it. I'm going to wrap it up right here. Hopefully this showed and told everything you wanted to know about these things. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to talk about. So give me one of these if you like it. Give me one of those if you don't. Do the likes, the bells, the subscribes, and all those whistles, and all that crap. And hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. And we're going to see you in the next one. Aight? Hey, cheers.